sense you've never been taught about. It's not sight, not hearing, not touch. It's the sense that tells you when your heart is racing before you consciously feel afraid. When your stomach drops before you know why. When something feels wrong in your body but you can't explain it. This hidden sense is called interoception. And here's what's disturbing. Most people in the modern world have completely lost touch with it. We've become strangers living inside our own bodies. That disconnection isn't just uncomfortable. It's now being linked to anxiety disorders, depression, eating disorders, chronic pain, and PTSD. But neuroscience has discovered something remarkable. Interoception isn't fixed. It's trainable, like a muscle that's atrophied from disuse. Your body's inner compass can be recalibrated, and the tools to do it are shockingly simple. 3 practices: breathwork, cold exposure, mindfulness. Each one targets interoception through a different neurological pathway. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how your brain reads your body's signals, why that system breaks down, and how to rebuild it from the ground up. Let's start with what interoception actually is. Deep in your brain sits a structure called the insular cortex. Think of it as your body's mission control. Every second, it receives thousands of signals from inside you. Heart rate, blood pressure, gut contractions, muscle tension, inflammation markers, hunger hormones. The insula processes all of this and creates something extraordinary. Your felt sense of being alive. That background hum of existence you rarely notice. But here's where it gets interesting. The insula doesn't just passively receive information. It predicts. Your brain is constantly guessing what your body will feel next, then checking those predictions against reality. When predictions match sensations, you feel calm, stable, grounded. When they don't match, you feel anxiety, confusion, dissociation. This prediction system explains something that puzzles many people with anxiety. Why do panic attacks seem to come from nowhere? Often, they don't. The body sent warning signals. The insula tried to alert you, but the connection was so weak that the conscious mind never got the message. Until it became a 5-alarm fire. Here's the question that changes everything. What if anxiety isn't a problem with your thoughts, but a communication breakdown between your body and brain? Breathwork is the fastest way to hack your interoceptive system. Here's why. You have almost no conscious control over your heartbeat. You can't will your blood pressure to change, but breathing sits at a unique intersection. It happens automatically, yet you can override it anytime. This makes breath the only visceral function that bridges voluntary and involuntary control. When you deliberately slow your breathing, something profound happens. You activate the vagus nerve, the superhighway connecting your brain to your organs. Heart rate drops, blood pressure decreases, stress hormones clear. But the real magic is what happens in the insula. By consciously controlling breath, you're essentially sending your brain a message. I'm paying attention to my body. I can influence my internal state. With repetition, this strengthens the neural pathways between body awareness and conscious perception. Studies on anxiety patients show that just 8 weeks of breathwork training increases interoceptive accuracy by measurable amounts. Participants become better at detecting their own heartbeat, a standard test for interoception. But here's what the studies don't capture. People report something harder to measure. They say they finally feel like they live inside their bodies again. One technique stands above the rest for interoceptive training: cyclic sighing. Cold exposure sounds like torture. It is. That's exactly why it works. When cold water hits your skin, your body screams, heart rate spikes, blood vessels constrict, adrenaline floods your system. Every survival instinct demands you escape. And in that moment of overwhelming sensation, something interesting happens in the brain. The insula lights up like a Christmas tree. Cold exposure is essentially a forced interoception workout. You cannot ignore your body when it's submerged in 50-degree water. Every cell demands your attention, but the real training happens in what you do next. You don't escape. You breathe. You stay present. You ride the wave of sensation